Hi folks, I am here in Logan, Utah at 3rd Gen Machine. I actually had the chance to meet the owner a few years ago at IMTS and then at a DMG event, and we really hit it off just talking a little bit about both machining and some of the business sides and entrepreneurship sides, and that's what I'm really excited for this story. It's also a pretty good sized shop. It's about 80 people, which is a little bit larger than some of the other factory tours and job shops. So let's dive in. I'm here with my host,
John Robinson.
And your title is?
General Manager.
Show us around?
Yeah.
Let's do it. How long you been with 3rd Gen?
I've been with 3rd Gen for 10 years.
10 years, okay.
10 years, yeah.
When I reached out to Evan to ask if he'd be willing, if it'd be okay if I stopped by, we got to talking and he mentioned that they are building their own ERP system. And I thought, for the folks that have followed us on our story with Lex, on the podcast and so forth, like the data and understanding how the systems work and building the processes, super cool.
Yeah.
You guys are building your own? Or?
We are building our own ERP system right now. It should be live in the next 6 months or so.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is our initial quality room here. Everything starts in our material shop across the way. We've got about 21, 22 machines in-house right now, everything from 3 to 5 axis, robots, heavy in ROBODRILLs and moorings.
Yeah, the horizontal. Can we peek in the?
Yeah, we can definitely peek in here. So
the CMMs are relatively.
CMMs are new within the last year and a half.
Okay.
Both of them the same model, mid-Toyota floor models.
Oh, these are the ones that aren't quite as temp sensitive. Don't
Correct.
need to be. Yeah.
Yep. Nope. We do have them both in rooms, just because even though they can be on the floor,
yeah, it's
still
better.
quality control.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that robot. Oh, it's got the carrot on tube.
Yep.
It's
so
cool.
It's between. So the new one that we've got coming in will do the same thing, different parts.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So this is our programming and engineering hub. Right now we've got 2 design manufacturing engineers, 2 programmers, and we're working on a manufacturing robotics engineering team too.
Got it.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, are you offended if I call you a job shop? Is that what you are?
No, our bread and butter is high volume production manufacturing.
Okay, so contract manufacturing, bigger picture stuff.
Yep,
Okay.
One-stop shop.
Yeah.
This is our main hub board where everything rotates through streams, setups, how we're doing quality objectives across departments. So every department comes here once a week and meets as a team.
Okay.
And they look at the overall where we're sitting.
You were mentioning that before we hit record. So you guys huddle. You huddle on Mondays and Fridays?
So every team, so we do, and I'll show you some SQDCM boards: safety, quality, delivery, cost, and morale. You got to think about it. Every department meets once a day on that. It's a daily task item. They answer specific questions on there.
Okay.
Quality is at 3 o'clock. They have been a huge proponent of that for me, crossing it across to everyone else. Then they cross-train. So in the future, every department, they'll pull a card out because they have to do it once a week and say, I need to go, I'm telling you to go to quality.
No kidding.
So now I've got an operator on the floor. They will go run quality's SQDCM board meeting at 3 p.m.
Even though that's not really their...
Even though it's not really them.
That's interesting.
And they'll get that, oh wow, this is what you guys are looking at and how you're thinking about it.
Is that forced communication and seeing...
open.
That's awesome.
Yep, open book everywhere. We see what our customers are doing internally and how that means something to them.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
This looks tiny for a NHX 400 horizontal.
Yeah, it does. When you look at your Okumas and other types of machines, you got a big box. Definitely a small, good, contained footprint.
Interesting.
Very contained. When you look at the old model, SH400 or 403 right behind you, much different looking footprint.
Are these all dual pallet machines?
All dual pallet. We've got 1 5 pallet down on the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is the main floor. Material comes in. We did used to have a huge shape. We've outgrown this building, so it's different.
How big is the shop?
This shop is 12,800 square feet.
Looks like you're...
We use every square inch. See, our customers don't pay for real estate.
Yeah, right. No, machine density matters. We're starting to see that as we're growing a little, and you think, holy cow, it matters.
It does.
For sure.
Every square inch is used. Yep. So we're a lean shop. Everything has a place, and it's labeled. It's not in its place. It's not used, kind of thing. Our cleaning cabinets are color coordinated. What's in them are taped off: orange, yellow, white.
What's the orange, yellow, white mean?
So if it's in this orange cabinet, everything that goes in here has orange tape on it.
Oh, okay.
So when it's out and being used on the floor, just simple little visual things.
Yeah, I like that.
It makes a difference. Yeah, you bet. Everything runs off of a work order. We've got 2 systems that really keep us going. A material flow system, it's 2 bin Kanban, and then our work traveler cars that take the parts from the finished goods from the machine down through processing and whatever they need to get done to them.
So if you don't have your own ERP system yet, what's generating work orders and a job allocation?
It's all manual right now, so we've got a supply chain team. So RFQ comes in, sales manager pushes that to me, I do the quote, give that back, generates the PO and sales order. That gets pushed to our what we're calling a watch board.
Yep.
That watch board is in the supply chain office. So we've got a program manager, project managers, and buyers. The PMs and buyers are a team together.
What's a PM?
Project manager.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Yep. So those guys will either push the work order through internally, or they'll push the PO out to a supplemental vendor.
Yep.
Right. So that all the work is done up front. You do the work up front, everything is smooth sailing on the tail end.
Yeah. But that's a big difference as a manufacturing company. You've got a distributed team, things flow through it. It's not one guy who quotes it, programs it, sets it up, or even one or two guys.
Yep. So it's communication channels. So on every work order what we have flowing through the shop, point of contacts are on there. Who's the PM, who's the buyer, who is the engineering contact if necessary, etc. Yep.
Yeah.
Getting all of that a little more automated and visible live is our push for creating our own ERP.
Yeah, but you know what you want. That's the
We know exactly what we want.
You know exactly. Like we talked about it when we built our own ERP system. Our intent wasn't to build an ERP. It's so easy to develop basic web apps that we just wanted to build something to know what we wanted out of an ERP, which we were then going to show to the ERP companies or to a software developer, and we just have kept running with it, and it works out great.
It works out really well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So everything's visually managed here. Work traveler cards, like I talked about.
Yep.
If there is anything highlighted that we need to take care of, multiple department signatures on it, so these guys know exactly what needs to be happening to make a good part before it gets moved on. It's quality at the source at its best. So hang that back up.
Cool.
So we have, like I said, 22 machines.
Yeah, it's interesting. The footprint it's just in a line.
Yep. Just in a line. They're 12 or 14 feet apart. I can't remember exactly, and they have a definitive space between them.
Yeah. And you were saying you run 4 shifts.
We run 4 shifts. Monday through Thursday is 4 10s. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 12s.
Got it.
Yep. So we cover, we're as close to 24/7 as we can. We use a local college, Utah State University, and Bridgerland to get people in here. They love the Friday, Saturday, Sunday shifts. You work 36, get paid for 40.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep, full benefits. Like I said, everything is kind of run off a Kanban system. So this is the floor. They have a different location for the store that's kind of on consignment. They pull when they get down. So before, when you get down to your lowest, you've got one. Before you pull that last one, you've got to take that card into purchasing to get that filled.
Do people bring tools back here, or is this just meant to take them out?
This is just meant to order it. So I'm pulling the last one, goes to purchasing. When that comes in, our shipping department brings that back. They know where everything is. Yep.
Will that get converted to the ERP? Or will it stay Kanban?
No, this will stay just like this, managed. What will happen is we'll go to like a Fastenal or a CAT machine that takes care of our consignment items on here.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. About 8 years ago, this was one of the first things we did in Lean, was putting together this 2-bin bin system. Instead of having to take, you get guys that
torque over.
Strip out. You get guys that strip out the bolts.
Yeah.
Right. And they're done it myself. So you spend how many dollars a week in downtime taking care of a 40-cent bolt?
In fixtures or in the end product?
Yeah, fixturing.
Okay.
In fixturing. So we created a 2-bin system here. So this one's empty right now. So that card is in for purchasing.
Yeah.
They emptied the last one. They pull it and go from there. When in doubt, throw the bolt away and replace it. Right. It took us from about 45% efficiency to about 80 overnight.
Really?
Yeah. Just a simple little thing.
And do you use, what is it going to be to the C numbers?
So those are well aged. You can find them quicker, but they also get put into the loading instructions on the machine for the operators. So they know they're not coming and looking for a quarter 20 by 28 or this C7. I know that's the bolt I need. I go put it back in my fixturing.
Got it. So whoever handles your fixture design and setup sheets has some familiarity with this as well?
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Cool. The machine sounds really, this is, the SE400s were what Evan was telling me about when I first met him. And these are old machines. I mean, they need some maintenance, some work and parts, and it sounds like it's moving really fast for being an old machine though.
Yeah.
And it's like any good horizontal, you're not gonna be able to see a thing in there, but man.
We even rebuilt a couple of these.
Yeah.
Back when I started, I was maintenance, and that's what I did myself.
Yeah.
We bought 3 machines, got it down, and rebuilt one from the casting ground up.
That's cool.
Sold it. It's still in operation today out in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Evan said that his first machines that he started with are still here.
Yes, the first couple are still here.
Okay.
Those were after the fact.
Okay. That's cool.
This is our newer NHX. It's a Gen 3 machine. We picked this one up about 2 years ago. Yeah, they're not a whole lot different other than aesthetics, but it's been good for us.
You like them?
Yeah. One of the things we're really good at, I mean, you can see every machine has quotes either from employees or things that just mean something to them listed on them.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds them every day. It goes along with our motto and some of the stuff that we've got with, you know, making people morale and culture. So.
Who sets that culture?
The entire management team. So myself included and 4 other managers we go to. We've been doing Shingo classes. We're attending our last one next week.
When is that class on?
Shingo. So it's a Shingo prize. So it's a lean methodology, comes out of Toyota production system.
Got it.
Shigeo Shingo. We got Utah State University to buy into it, so it's through our local college.
Oh, that's great.
And it's something that we'll be continuing to incorporate into our culture and going after the prize in the next year or 2.
Yeah, that's the thing we've heard about. I mean, we've had this problem ourselves, and we've seen other people. Like, Kanban, even when you get buy-in, there's the people that need that wrench, and they just don't carry the cart over to purchasing.
Right.
I don't know if there's an answer to that, but it's something that's always on my mind.
Yeah, so it's about studying behaviors. A lot of people ask how we incorporate that, and it's all about if you can make your team feel successful when they go home at the end of the day, and they understand the expectations and they feel success in it, they're going to come back the next day happy and ready to hit it hard. Yeah. Everything is visual, again with that. So, like I said, they've checked this out. You get your coolant percentages. Well, if you're in this range, you're going to add water. If you're in this range, you're going to add coolant. When was the last time it was checked? Here's all the operator PMs that they're responsible to do.
Centralized coolant or individual machine?
Individual machine, yeah. So we have a skimmer system that I can go through later that we bought about 8 years ago and changed the entire dynamic of what we do.
I'll be curious to see that.
Yeah. Here's our 5-pallet machine. 240 tools, 20,000 RPM. This is kind of what we call the shop ATM. You leave everything in it, you come up and they tell you what you want it to do. You leave it set up. A lot of fun.
It's cool. Yep. 400mm tombstones.
Yep.
Making your own fixture tooling.
Yep. This is 100% designed and built in-house. Yep.
Do you have a separate kind of tool room to make the fixturing, or do you just find time on a horizontal?
If it needs a horizontal, we schedule it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
How far out are you scheduling jobs?
If it doesn't include finishing, so heat treat, plating, anything like that, we're generally 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
If it includes plating or any kind of post-processing, we're 8 to 10.
Wow.
Those lead times have really gone up in the last 12 months.
Yeah. Well, and you were mentioning that as I kind of asked, what's the 3rd gen story? And I think Evan will probably talk more about that. But you were talking about this idea of not just being a spindle for hire, but rather a full service solution.
Full service, yeah. So we can bring in an idea, a concept, or give you that design for manufacturing concept that says, okay, here, let us take it, make it manufacturable, but turn it into, we'll put it in the bag for your product. We have an assembly team, and let you do growth focus with your company. Yeah. Those are finishing departments. So everything comes back through here. They'll come back here in a black bin. Everything's color coded. So blue bins are material, black bins are unfinished goods.
Okay.
So you can see here they're ready to go for these guys. Work in progress. Yep. They'll come back. They'll get this traveler card, goes in bin with it.
Yep.
And they follow the instructions that are on here. Okay. Comes back, then you've got your green bins. And once it gets processed, whether that's in our vibratory tumbling, bead blasting, whatever needs to happen, they'll go into a green bin, go to in-process quality here, and then they go to shipping to be processed.
Okay.
So everything runs on FIFO, first in, first out. That's everything that we do. So they'll go in, they follow their arrows. Same thing with our quality rack behind you. It's just tilted like this.
Oh, okay.
So they're always pulling from the front.
Yep.
You can see if they're not running, we turn them off. These things keep up really well. This media is really unique. It actually expands when wet and contracts when it dries. So with our thaw detection, we have a really good, a really low scrap rate with people trying to punch rocks out of stuff, right? Because they contract, you let it dry, and they just fall out. Yeah. Yeah. So what do we do with the Kanban cards when they get back here? Well, they clip them up. So they'll clip them up and they'll write the time down that material, that part has to come out of the tumbler, let them dry, etc. You can see here, here's our bin description.
Oh, the other CMM.
Yeah, our other CMM in-process quality room.
Yep.
So they do a really good job back here. This is not where the programming happens, but rather where they just pump the parts on, they follow the batch rate inspection or the lot size, measure those, send them through a reject.
And so you're inspecting on a scheduled basis a certain process every 1 part, certain process every 10 parts, certain process every 100 parts.
Right. So like in this lot size, it's a lot size of 1, so they're going to inspect 100% of this job.
Wow.
On this, they're inspecting. I think the lot size on these is 20. So lot size chart is right over here. So this is the one we'll use.
Okay.
So they'll inspect 3 parts out of that lot.
Got it.
Maintenance is probably cleaning some of this up and they're popping some new tools in or old tools out. So last stage in the process, everything comes back through here and goes to our shipping department. We've got 4 shipping clerks and a shipping manager back here that work 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week.
Yeah. Are we allowed to share that you guys are building a new building?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a great time because it looks like you guys are
so right now
busting
you can see how crammed we are, and we outgrew it probably 2 years ago. We're building a new building that'll be 50,000 square feet.
Wow.
We'll grow into that pretty rapidly as well.
Yeah.
It also has the ability for, it's got a false wall, it's concrete tilt, so one of the walls falls out and we'll be able to expand to 100,000 square foot at any time.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we go down this way and we'll show you the coolant skimmer that we talked about. Visually management, again, everything is labeled so we know what machine this barrel goes to, what alloy it is.
Yeah, sure.
If we're doing mixed alloys, I get a lot less on scrap rate, as you all know. So same concept here. They take these barrels.
How are you handling scrap?
Yeah. The red line, that's your fill line. Why? So I can have 1 person empty that barrel.
Got it.
Right? They come over here, you don't have to find somebody.
Yeah.
Dump that on the back side of it. No, it's on the forklift actually. That is their map. So when you're on the forklift and you have to go dump these after they drain, the tramp oils, hydraulic, whey oils, etc., stay to the chips, the coolant drains out. Take those out. There's a map on the forklift. There's 2 large 40-yard hoppers outside and tells them where to dump it.
You ever thought about a briquette machine?
We did have a briquette machine when I first started. It went down about 3 days out of the week, constantly fixing it. And what they do is they press some metal impurities into the coolant. So now you're spending about $2,000 a week getting that coolant, that fluid, sucked out and pumped out, unless you've got an oil burn-off machine. Then you can do a ton of different things, right? So that's where the idea for this machine came into place. The other item with that is we were rebuilding a ton of coolant pumps. Okay. Tool life wasn't that great because we were trying to recycle that or constantly dealing with coolant things. This machine is a 300-gallon clean, 300-gallon dirty machine. So everything that comes out of there, everything that we're trying, coolant or water-based, gets put in here, and the tramp oils get skimmed off.
Interesting.
Okay. We go through maybe 2.5 55-gallon drums of tramp oil a year. We've got an oil burn-off machine. We don't pay to have it sucked off.
What is an oil burn-off machine?
So it's just a heat generator. So it burns off any H2O or anything that's not oil in it.
Got it.
So this here, we've got a sump shark vacuum. We can suck out and replace one of these sumps in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. Without even getting that dirty.
Yeah, without getting dirty. We actually get a tax credit for this system and doing this. So we sold the briquetter, got rid of that. It paid itself off in about 2.5 months and fixed about $137,000 a year deficit in that system. I could not tell you the last time we rebuilt a pump. Our tool life went up.
That's great. But you still have all individual tanks. So someone's on a schedule, I guess, going through, sucking it, putting it in here, cycling it through. Use the same coolant on all machines?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're not doing cast iron or messy-ish?
No.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Yep. All of our excess, this is kind of our maintenance rack, so we've got a ton of pallets that some of them stay staged up back behind there. We've got pre-staged material, raw material that's waiting, or pre-cutting for a weekend shift.
Got it.
Outside of that, we've got all, pallets, and then just a couple of maintenance items that we keep on hand that we're rebuilding or might see a need in the next couple of years.
When you're buying material like this, are you having a third party saw cut it?
Nope. So our saw shop's across the parking lot. We ran out of space over there. We got 2 band saws and an EDM over in that facility.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Our material, we hold about $500,000 on consignment at a few different mills right now, and bring that in as cut plate whenever we need something.
Can we see these robos?
Yeah. So you check out our robo cell.
Look at this. This is amazing.
This machine will just run and run and run.
Is that a flip jig?
Sorry?
What's the finger there that is loaded into it? Flip jig?
Repositioning.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's just repositioning. It'll grab them and go from there.
That is so cool.
So,
and these are the phone book robo. I mean, these are the small machines.
20,000 RPMs.
Same program, same part, just...
No, 2 different.
Oh, really?
Yep. So you can see here the 2 different parts, loading them, how they go.
Do the jobs change on these machines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we run 9 different parts. Between the 2 of them, they can each run any of the 9.
Tooling has to get changed.
Nope.
No kidding.
No.
That's impressive.
Yep.
That's cool.
Our tooling crib.
Yep.
Again, everything's same thing, Kanban system managed.
Yep.
Yep. Here's more of our job shop side of it, or prep work. And what we do, these are our 3 vertical machines, all Mori SVs, and then these 2 were at some of Evan's first machines.
Cool. So this is only 2007.
2007.
It's really impressive.
Yeah. Yep. A 5-axis machine, and then a larger, a newer Mori vertical.
Oh, the CMX.
Yep.
Okay,
CMX.
I gotta ask because I heard everyone loves the Dur vertical.
Yep.
No one seemed to like the Eco line.
Yeah.
I've heard mostly good things about the CMX. Mm-hmm. You guys like it?
It's not as fast.
Okay.
If you're going to use it for high volume stuff, it's not as fast. It does well for us.
Fair enough. It's a different kinematic design.
Yes.
Having because you've got your X in the table, right? But Y and Z are in your head.
Yes.
I remember that correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Let me take a look. So this is our CMX design. You can see how it was articulate.
Was there.
Yep. Art, how do you like the machine?
I love it.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Great access, right? Yeah. Yep. One back in the corner. Yeah.
Yep. And then our maintenance department. All the way in the back, they have manual tools, manual lathe. They've got their upstairs where they do a lot of rebuild stuff and office space. You can see all of their PM boards and different things up there. We do everything here but rebuild spindles.
Wow.
Yep.
No kidding. In-house.
In-house.
No kidding.
Yep.
Out of necessity because of the older Moris, or?
A little, but we've always done that. That's where we started out. And it just creates less downtime, more uptime for our customers.
Yeah, that's
We're not waiting. We store servo drives, motors.
Wow.
We house that so we're not overnighting things based on when they go out. And
wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And only lathe we've seen yet on this tour. That's my kind of tour.
Yeah.
I hate lathes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Kind of our engineering center. We do 3D printer.
Cool.
We've got 2 of them. One they keep back here, the other one's in their area. We can do a lot of different materials with this machine. It's really kind of opened up what we can do. 10 years ago we bought an older machine that was probably 25 grand. This one is much more capable and it costs about 3.
Well, that's got that can do the carbon fiber, the Onyx filament, right?
Yeah, so our other one can too. Our older one, it does carbon fiber reinforced. This one also can do more softer materials like rubber and other things as well. Yeah.
You use it for prototyping or fixturing or?
Prototyping, fixturing, laser fixturing, testing, R&D. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, we built some pretty cool poker yoke jigs and fixtures with this, which works totally fine. It gives you that quick check.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Check it and machine it if you need it.
Yeah. Actually, a shameless plug. We have a whole video on 10 reasons you can use a 3D printer in a machine shop, and it's just that like little quality of life things that we built for the machines. And
production board right now, we're on 4 different shifts. There's 4 shift leads, 1 for each shift, and a production manager. This is exactly what I love to see. I do not want to see all green, and I don't want to see all red. I want to see a good mix. Okay. The reason is if it's all green, we are not challenging ourselves. Right?
Okay.
So we want to see that, and then we're recording those notes on why. Okay, and then we put those together and make sure that we're not having repeat items, and we're correcting those things.
Yeah.
All of the shifts get to see that, what the other shift struggles are.
Yeah.
They meet at the end of their shift. It's a 3 to 7 minute meeting.
Okay.
They go through it, and like I said, anybody can ask the questions. The questions are here. Were there any new quarantines today?
I was going to ask what does red and green mean. Can I show
green?
this?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, yeah. Yeah.
Morale. Are you on time? That's the biggest thing. Not making your peers pick up your slack.
Yeah.
A lot of other departments have some proactive morale questions. And that's the thing is these questions are set by the managers within their department to make them better. What we started out with is different today.
Yeah. It always evolves.
Yep, always evolving.
Really
what
cool.
makes sense. Yeah.
This is the stuff I love because, I mean, there's the Toyota book and there's courses and methodologies, but seeing this in the raw is great.
Yeah. This is what really has changed our culture.
Interesting.
Yeah. It gives them that ownership of, okay, this is what I'm doing at my level and how I impact things.
Yeah.
And then they go meet that once a week at the main company KPI board. They, oh, wow, that's how I affected that.
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, because you guys are large enough to where you've got that levels of management and people that don't know each other and all that.
Yep.
Cool. So how does somebody know that, that fourth machine down there's chip bin needs empty?
So they're checking it. So in their cell, each operator is responsible for anywhere from 3 to 5 machines depending on the internal tack time.
Okay.
Right? And so they know on the hour or every other hour, they're checking their chip bin system. They're checking to make sure that they still have good coolant flow going through the machine. They're listening. They get used to the noises and interactions.
Yeah. Do they also empty their own chip filter baskets, all that? Okay.
Yep. The operators are in charge for a multitude of things on their shift. Everything is right here. So back to that, they're checking for leaks. They're doing the chip barrels. First check, second, and third. They're wiping down their station, going through their checklist.
And what happens if for no bad reason a tool just happens to break? Does that operator have to go talk to somebody else to get a new tool assembled?
Yep. So what happens is they'll tear it down. If it's something that can be fixed within 5 minutes, we usually have a floating machinist that we call Mr. Fix-It. If they find him within 5 minutes, they get it back up and running. There's no downtime recorded. Outside of that gap, they put what's called a significant event sheet up, which most of our equipment's running right now. And they say broken tool, here's the tool number, here's a description of what happened.
Yeah.
And then what they'll do is they'll take one of these cards here and they'll put that on there. So a broken tool would require a machinist department setup. They'll put that right here on top of the SES sheet and someone knows that it's not running. And this is the department it's down for.
Got it. And that's going to stay that way, or will that get taken over by the ERP system?
That will get taken over not by ERP, but by our machine monitoring that we include and incorporate to ERP.
So you're going to have a tablet or computer at each machine?
Yep. So they'll come up to that and they'll interact and say broken tool, enter the information, it'll just ping that department automatically.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yep. Do you do any sister tools in the machine, or do you keep common tools pre-set up?
Typically we keep common tools pre-set up, so it's a fast interchange.
Any tool back in the tool crib can go in any machine though, all the same pull stud?
The NHXs do have a thicker, shorter pull stud than the older SHs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is it close enough to where it's deceiving to look at, or do you can tell?
No, if you know what you're looking for. Old SHs could grab a newer NHX potentially. The new NHXs I don't think can grab the SH. It's too thin.
Yeah.
These are some of our core values. We're going to add 6 more, and working to predict what is yours is our future. No matter what we're building, we're helping you build what your future is going to be. Don't pass it on. No one likes getting stuff given to them that isn't complete or it's just junk.
Yeah.
This is our office. So we've got supply chain in here. There's program manager, 2 project managers, 2 buyers.
Okay.
Maria's receptionist.
Yeah.
She handles everybody, keeps them in line. We've got Tara in accounting, HR.
Yep.
And then we've got Joe in here, who we pulled out of our shipping department. He's not in here right now, but he's the one doing, found out that he was a
software
developer and is creating our ERP system. Has been doing a fantastic job.
It's amazing. I love that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'd love to talk to Evan, but thank you very much for the tour.
You
That's probably an impressive shop, really.
Thank you.
Really.
Yeah.
I asked Evan if he'd be willing to sit down to explain, number one, why is it called third gen machine, and then a little bit about past, present, and future. So third gen is?
That's a good question. So that comes from being a third generation machine shop owner. And most people, when they understand that, they think it's the same business passed down 3 generations. But that's not the case. There are 3 separate companies. One my grandfather started with a partner back early 1950s.
Okay.
And then my father started one in 1980.
Okay.
And I started my own in 2007.
That's incredible. I mean, so you had the benefit of growing up in the trades and familiarity.
Literally growing up in a machine shop.
Right, right. But you literally started on your own?
Yes. I just wanted to be a part of that and see what I can make of myself, make of my own business.
Right. And when was that you started on your own?
That was 2007.
Okay, so I mean, only 14 years ago. Not that long. That's impressive. When you started, was it just you, or were you running machines, or?
I was primarily doing programming, actually running any and every aspect of the business.
Right.
I started with just a handful of guys and a handful of machines.
Yeah. We saw a couple of I think the SH or the SV400 was one of the ones that was originally.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite machines today. I still use it.
Yeah, it's awesome. We grabbed lunch before we filmed, and Evan was mentioning this idea that he's kind of continued to like lop things off of his to-do list, and it very much reminded me this idea of firing yourself. You know, you used to take care of this, and now you've got somebody to do that, or a system in place that means you don't have to do it anymore.
Absolutely, and the amount of work and effort and time to build that up, it really takes a while. So filling up 14 years with establishing departments, personnel, procedures, it's a big task.
Or did you plan on being the leader of an 80-person company?
No, I don't think I saw it.
It's pretty impressive.
No.
Yeah. Did you have a background in? I mean, do you read? I mean this genuinely. Do you read leadership books? Do you talk to people who go to classes? Or do you just rock and roll?
It's possible that would be, or likely that would have been helpful. Really, probably just lucking out with people that did that.
On your team.
Bringing on people on my team.
Right, that makes sense. Got it. So what are you guys doing well today, and what's on your mind?
Well, today is our ambition and drive makes us hit the new targets, new goals, and what's on our mind to go is we're not satisfied. I say this several times a week. As great as we're doing, we're just getting started.
That's cool. That's awesome. You don't get burned out or fatigued?
It's possible.
Yeah.
We have moments, but
right.
I like the challenge. I like the development of a dream, of a vision.
Yeah, right. Are you spending a lot of your time on the new building and looking forward versus worrying about the hour to hour or day to day?
Looking for the big picture stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. That's huge.
Equipment purchasing, machine cell design, and product customer development.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things I've found as a much humbler version of as an entrepreneur running a much smaller shop is, and they talk about this a lot in the book, The E-Myth Revisited, which is a great book. I think folks should read it more than once because the advice in it and in any book, frankly, is quite contextual. It'll mean something different depending on where you are in your journey. One thing the E-Myth talks about is build an org chart. And in the beginning, you're going to fill every one of those roles. That's a story we've heard at our shop, at your shop, at Area 419. But the other thing is, as an entrepreneur, you can play different roles. You can be the technician, still running machines. You can be the manager, kind of interacting with folks. And you can be that entrepreneur and visionary. I find it's really difficult to switch between the two fluidly multiple times a day. Like if I have to sit there and think a lot about, we've got a problem on a machine or we're trying to figure something out, I can do that and I can generally do it pretty well. But then for me to go back and say, okay, I really want to think about what I was thinking about with the layout of a new building or big picture stuff, it's not something I can just snap in and out of. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. But that's kind of what the environment we're in, right?
Yeah.
We just got to keep going for that.
Yeah.
I'll work with several different departments today.
Yeah.
From purchasing, project management to engineering. That's kind of more where I spend my time. Product development, for either for ourselves or for our customers.
Yeah. Well, you should be proud. This is, I know you're not the kind of person that wants to probably congratulate yourself midway through the journey, but this is a really impressive shop. Really.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I look forward to coming back when you get that.
Yeah, love to have you.
Building up. Awesome. Hey, Evan, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.